We are back, and today we're taking on one of the biggest fallen giant rebuilds in German football. Schalke, a club with one of the most passionate fan bases in Europe. A club that once fought Bayern toe-to-toe, and a club that once reached Champions League semi-finals, has spent the last few seasons in absolute chaos, with financial mismanagement, player exodus, everything that could potentially go wrong has. But now, they're finally showing signs of a revival. They are currently sitting top of the second tier of Germany, and we are here to finish the journey, with a goal of winning 3 Bundesligas over the next 10 seasons, and to lift a Champions League trophy. And if I don't complete them challenges, I'm going to be giving away a copy of FM26 to one of you guys in the comments down below. So let's see if I can take Schalke back to the top of not only German football, but Europe. And here we are on Football Manager, ready to take Schalke back to the top. Now, if you guys are excited, make sure you're smashing a like on this video and subscribe as well, because around 63% of you are not subscribed. Now, this video is going to be absolutely insane, and we're going to try and take some of these star players to the top of the Bundesliga. I mean, the best player of the club currently, Musa Sila, a Malian winger with 16 acceleration, 15 pace, 14 finishing, is elite for the second tier of Germany. Other star players include goalkeeper Karius. Yeah, I know it's hard to believe Karius as a star player, but here in the second tier of Germany, Karius is incredible. As centre-back, we have Hasan Kurashe, a Turkish centre-back with 16 determination, and partnering him is Nikola Katic, 17 determination, 9 pace. This guy's going to go in the middle of a back three, I think. But one of the best things about managing Schalke is their youth academy. Excellent youth facilities, excellent training facilities, is perfect for trying to bring up talent into this team. And we already have some 5-star players. Dylan Leonard is an Australian centre-back who looks pretty well-rounded at just 17 years of age. Peter Reimers is a German centre-back midfielder / striker. And we also have Zaid Chiachibara, a Togo right winger with great speed, determination and finishing ability. And checking out the under-19s, there's a few more 5-star potential players as well, who hopefully we'll see along the way in today's journey. In terms of the tactics we are using to kick off this rebuild, it is a 5-back tactic. One of the best tactics I've managed to work out on FM this year has been the kind of like Ruben Amorim style tactics. We're of course changing them today to make it more suited to this Schalke side, with wide forwards staying wide, cutting in, a sole striker up front, in possession having a playmaker and a central midfielder and 2 wing backs, while of course having Katic sitting in the centre of this defence and not moving at all. We've also managed to get Leonard into the team, and hopefully he'll be starting lots of games alongside Tichibara on this right wing as well. As we are one of the best teams in the league, I'm trying to develop some of the young talent in this team as well. That's going to be a huge part of today's rebuild. We are predicted second in the league behind Hertha BSC, and hopefully we're going to be able to battle them for a title this season. We do have the best striker in the whole entire league, so I think Silla is going to bag some goals this year. And of course, this is a 10-season challenge. We're attempting to win 3 Bundesliga trophies, and we start in the second tier. We also need to win a Champions League as well, and all you guys have got to do to enter into the giveaway to potentially win a copy of FM26 if I don't get them challenges is comment down below. So let me know which saves you're currently doing on FM26. Now, the team we were battling to attempt to win this title was Hertha BSC, and we didn't do great against them. We lost 1-0 in the first game and drew 0-0 in the second. So if we wanted to have any chance of getting promoted or potentially winning the league, we would have to pick up results in other areas. And luckily for us, we were pretty good this season. It wasn't like we were amazing against the best teams in the league, but against the rest, we managed to score quite a few goals. And a lot of them came from Kenyan Karaman with his leaps from the back post. Now, Kenyan is no wonder kid at 32 years of age, but he did grab 18 goal contributions off that left-hand side, and being 6'3", playing a left wing, well, it seems to be pretty meta. As Zaid Tachibara, who was mainly our right winger, grabbed 11 assists this year, with a lot of them coming from crosses like that into the back post. But it wasn't actually Hertha that caused us the most issues. It was SG Dynamo Dresden, who went on to win the Bundesliga too. But lucky for us, there is 2 promotion spots for us. So we managed to get promoted in second place, while Hertha stay in the second tier down in fifth. Now, if you haven't played FM before, Hertha are a club which cause absolute issues, normally go on to be an absolute financial powerhouse. So keeping them in the second tier of Germany for as long as possible in this rebuild is going to be really, really helpful. And we are going up into the Bundesliga after just one season. So we now have 9 seasons to try and win 3 Bundesliga titles. And given the fact we're not even the best team in the second tier, well, that's going to take a lot of work. Now, in terms of the tactics in this video, this one's been okay, but I think we will move away from it at some point. So once you've got a finished tactic, I will put that on the Patreon, as well as the rebuild files of this rebuild. So if you guys want to pick up from the very start of this rebuild, or at the end when hopefully we've made Schalke a dynasty, you guys will be able to pick that up on the Patreon down below. The whole file process will be £3, or if you want to support the channel on a monthly basis, you get access to that and every other tactic or rebuild we make on the channel, and that'll be linked down below and how to sign up onto there. Now, top goal scorer this season was, of course, Musa Sila. He grabbed 15 goals and got 1 assist, and it looks absolutely brilliant. He's got absolutely no value. We haven't really got much value in this team overall, and sadly is unhappy and wants a brand new deal. We're not the most financially rich just yet, so he might have to wait a little bit, but hopefully we can get something going for him. In terms of assists, it would Zaid Jabara off that right wing. And in terms of star performers, it was Nikola Katic, Yannick Bachmann, Justin Hirokin, Zaid Jabara, and actually Dylan Leonard. The 2 youngsters absolutely smashed it. Dylan Leonard with a little bit of progression. Same for Zaid, not a crazy amount, with a little bit, which is going to be helpful going into next season. Because while we're doing okay financially, we have £10 million in the bank and £400,000 in wage budget. And I'm actually going to add an extra little twist into this rebuild. And that all comes down to the signings we're going to be making throughout this video. We are not just going to be signing anyone. We are only allowed to sign European wonder kids. Now, that might sound really easy, but on a financial basis, it is much cheaper to go to South America. It is much cheaper to go to Africa. It is much cheaper to go to Asia or Oceania to find the best wonder kids. And today's rebuild, we're not allowed to sign a single one of them. Every single signing has to come from Europe. So you can see we've got an Eastern European, a West European, a Northern EU, and a Central EU scouting all set up to attempt to make this scouting process a lot easier. In terms of our player database, I'm capping it, so we can only sign players under 23 years of age and have been scouted by our scouts. So the challenge wasn't hard enough, it's got even harder. And we're gonna have to use our scouts and our recruitment focuses to find some of the best talent in Europe. Now, if that transfer twist doesn't deserve a like, I don't know what does. Please make sure you smash the like button and hyping up this video. So, of course, welcome in our new star striker, Nelson Viper. He was one of the best young strikers on FM24, and I'm interested to see if Big Nelson can replicate that on FM26. Rumour has it he's a lot worse. So let's see what we can do with him. Other signings include Berke Yilmaz, a £5 million signing at left back. Gustavo Mancha is my next, coming in from Olympiacos, a Brazilian centre-back with 19 determination. Alex Toff from Ferencváros is a Hungarian central midfielder coming in for 1.6 million. Sergej Muridan is an Armenian centre-back with 16 heading. And finally, Victor Bayer is our brand new goalkeeper, a Czech goalkeeper with 18 jumping reach, 18 aerial reach. He could be quite good. I do want to touch on the fact that Gustavo Mancha has come in from Olympiacos. Yes, I'll be signing players that have already come to Europe from these nations, but they obviously are going to have an inflated value if they're playing in European leagues. Gustavo Mancha would probably cost me 500k to $1 million. We obviously brought him in from Olympiacos for 2.2, which is still very, very cheap. But the whole process stands, scouting them from European clubs. And this is our current look best side. Keeping Sila up front with Viper, changing in to a 5-2-3. Having Karaman sit centrally in a position where he should be much better. With Alpha Uzi and Schallenberg in DM, we look a lot stronger. Schallenberg is a fantastic defensive midfielder. 185 centimeters tall, 16 natural fitness, 16 aggression, 16 teamwork. I think he could be in the team for a long time. And Alpha Uzi is also absolutely brilliant with a bunch of crazy good stats. Left wing back, we do now have an absolute mainstay in Yilmaz. And at right wing back, we've got Walantovitz. an 18-year-old through the academy who looks great. Muradian comes in at right centre-back. Katic, of course, stays as the middle with Leonard on the left. And now Bayer in goal. I think this team is much better than last season. And I believe the media probably don't think so. We are down in 16th place. Better than Dynamo Dresden by over half, which is great. And a squad average age of just 23, which is brilliant. So hopefully we can carry on building. And I mean, I'd like to think a Bundesliga could come in the next 3 seasons, which would give us then... 4 seasons, which would give us then 5 years to go and get another 2. So we have to try and do that, don't we? We have to keep building on this young squad. We have to keep using these fantastic facilities to get this team better. So let's get on with it. Let's get Schalke a Bundesliga trophy in our first year. Might be a stretch too far. And yeah, that was certainly a stretch too far, as we actually end up in the relegation playoff. And we lost the first game 2-1. Not what I had planned for this season. Luckily, in the second leg, we won 4-0 and absolutely blew Arminia Bielefeld out of the water with 4 goals from Christian Gomez, who's someone we've not really touched on yet. The interesting thing is, throughout the rest of the season, 4 appearances, just 1 goal. But in that game, he bagged 4. So thank you, Christian, for turning up with your 17 pace for just 1 game. It is massively, massively appreciated. I'm not sure why them goals aren't coming up on this bit. It's a bit weird. They're only showing in that one specific game. But we have Christian to thank for the fact that we are safe, because we have just had an absolutely shocking season. This tactic did not work in the slightest, and we have got to go back to the drawing board. In terms of goals, Sila grabbed 10, Karaman grabbed 10, and maybe as feared, Nelson Viper isn't the man he used to be. With only 14 goal contributions in 33 games, he probably would have scored 100 last time out in FM24. He was that good. So maybe we need to look into something else instead of him. And Christian Gomez, thank you. It does show here as 5 goals in 5 games. What an absolute legend. We do also have Emil Højlund, who scored 1 goal, just like his brother. Looks like him, plays like him, apparently, scoring just 1 goal from Cam/striker. And also, we didn't really see Willem Rufer play that many games at right wing back. We did also see Loris Karius take the goalkeeper position, which was annoying because I wanted it to be Victor Bayer. So maybe next season it'll be Victor. He's only 22 years of age, so no stress whatsoever. He's gone up in area reach again, which is brilliant. So we like that. He can be more and more meta. And Sila last year was brilliant. This year, okay. 14 goal contributions for him. New signing Yilmaz was decent at left wing back. And Miranda at right centre back didn't really play too much. Mancha did, which is great. He got an assist and is progressing quite well, actually. But overall, a much more difficult season than I expected. Maybe 3 Bundesligas and the Champions League is a little bit too far for this Schalke team over 10 years. Which, I mean, you guys aren't going to complain too much. You could get a free copy of FM26. But I don't want to be giving away copies of FM26 willy-nilly. So let's get big on transfers. Rafael Pinto Pedrosa, £6.25 million. That is my starting right wing back. Gabriel Costa, a Portuguese centre-back coming in from Firenze, £5.5 million. Alexander Rossing Lise, a £5 million signing for a winger with 17 determination, good speed, good dribbling, good first touch, 6 foot tall as well, is giving me the vibes of Karaman at just 20 years of age. That one signed from Hamburg. Luka Fabranic up next from Osijek, another absolute superstar on FM24. £3.1 million for him. 22.7 for Wesley Ade, a central defence midfielder coming in from Werder Bremen. Vanja Dragovic is one coming in from Partizan for £2.5 million. For 2.2, we have another goalkeeper and one that's potentially even better. It's Karim Matli, a Turkish goalkeeper who looks absolutely brilliant. For 850k coming in from FC Noah, we have Arta Movsayan, who is another defensive player from Armenia with 16 determination. Apparently we've got 2 of them, which is weird. Hugo Alba is a striker coming in OFK Belgrade. He's a Spanish striker with 15 determination and 14 finishing. And finally, for £550,000, Younes Unal joins us as a rotational left wing back. We did make some sales this season to kind of pay for all of them. Katic, Kurake, Poraf, Ahan and Felipe Sanchez left for all over £1 million. But that was a big, big summer and when we had to do to revitalise this squad. As did the switch into our 4-2-3-1, which helped me win the Premier League with Sheffield Wednesday. We had to switch into a formation which would enable us to play a more expansive and exciting style of football. So the 4-2-3-1 comes out, and this team is built for it. Viper can lead the line, Vabranic in the cam role, Sila on the right, Rossing on the left, Dragovic and Schallenberg in DM, with Pinto Pedrosa and Berke Yilmaz driving down the line as wide back, with Gustavo Mancha and Costa at centre-back, with Karim Mustali in goal. I think he's better than Bayer, and he was only £2.2 million. In terms of rotation option, we have Mosveyan and Murdian. We have Leonard, Unal, El Fauzi, Aze, Tchichibara, Karaman, Gomez, and Alaba. And I think Karaman will play a lot of games in this cam role as well. As a 33-year-old now, he is losing a few stats, but he is mentally very good and technically a star as well. In terms of this tactic, it is a really good one. It is a 4-2-3-1 in possession, 4-4-2 out of possession. And hopefully, because Karaman has got that also striker instinct in him, we can play this system very, very well and go out there and overperform just like we did with Sheffield Wednesday. That is the vibe for this tactic with this Schalke side, which now with the media has us at 15 and no longer in a relegation playoff, with a squad average age of just 21, meaning we are one of the youngest teams in Europe going for the big one. So let's get into season 3 and see if we can attempt to get into a European place. I mean, it doesn't sound impossible. And well, we've had an absolutely abysmal finish to the season, with the month of April not winning a single game. But before that, we won every single game in December, nearly won every single game in January, and the same goes for February. We even managed to grab smash and grab wins like this one against Borussia Dortmund, which we won 1-0 thanks to an own goal from Nico Schlotterbeck. Was this it? Had we actually managed to turn things around in just one season and a formation change? Yes. We finished 3rd. We've just got Champions League football after last year being in a relegation playoff. Now, I will say the Bundesliga is a weird league. This league is so tight. I mean, we finished on 62, but 55 Stuttgart, 10 points less basically, is 11th place. I mean, it is a very tight division. The signings we've made have just managed to jump right up into 3rd. Now, I in no way think we are the 3rd best team in this league, but having a young team with a squad average age of just 21 massively helps when it comes to developing a team over a course of a season. You get in a good lump of form, and you can just carry that on, which is exactly what we've done in the schedule here. A great start, a couple of losses, and then went on a pretty ridiculous run. 2 losses against Bayern and Hertha. We'll keep an eye on them because they're an issue. And then winning every game in December, like I said. Same in January. February was great. March was great. A pretty poor run to the end. I mean, you think there, if we pick up a 9 points compared to the 2 we did, so 7 points extra, would have been 2nd place. And of course, Bayern, miles clear. But we were genuinely close to being the 2nd best team in Germany this season, which means we're in the Champions League next year for season 4. Wow. Now, in terms of goals, Nelson Viper just grabbed 20 and got 6 assists, while Karaman, I knew he'd thrive in that cam role, got 16 and 2 assists. Rosling grabbed 7 and 6, Sila with 5 and 9, and Vabranic 4 and 8 as well. It looks like our new signings are coming in and making an instant impact, and already financially, that's helped us out, as we've now got £58 million to spend and £228,000 in wage budget. In terms of our finances, it doesn't look great, only 29 million in the bank, but the board are obviously thinking, let's give him some money. Let's try and stay in the Champions League, which Oli Glasner has just said at Palace, you know, slandering basically the overlords of Palace, saying once you get into Europe for the first time in a club's history, you're a first time in a long time like we are here. Rather than save, you should spend and try and stay there. And that's obviously what the Schalke board are thinking. Absolutely buzzing with that. And we have taken that money and ran with it and brought some fantastic young talent for not only now, but for the future. Because we need to win Bundesligas and Champions Leagues. And I've got a feeling this might be a one-season thing. So our first signing is Doga Saylu, a Turkish defence midfielder, for £14.5 million. But 15 determination, 16 tackling, 6'3", is an absolute beast. Next up is Chevio Sauer, an 18 determination, £8.75 million defence midfield signing, coming in from Zurich. We then moved on to Alexander Borgensen from Rosenborg, 7.5 million. Great passing, technique, flair, and natural fitness. An absolute bargain of a signing, in my opinion. 5.5 million gets us Jesus Fortea from Real Madrid. A great youngster. Being able to buy him from Real Madrid is an absolute win. Alexander Manas is another good talent. £1.2 million, sending him back on loan to IFK Beograd, where hopefully he can come back and develop into a star. And for 325k, we've signed Ruben from Melia with 16 bravery, decent physicals, great marking and tackling. Ruben should be an absolute hero. And we're not going absolutely crazy because, as you can see, sorted by potential, we've got a lot of 5 stars already in the club, and the sort of like future looks absolutely broken. Gabriel Costa, still 5-star potential. Now Alexander Manas, 5-star. Fortea, 5-star. Sauer, 5-star. Players from the academy this season alone, Julian, Siaka and Jorg, all 5-star. Mick Himmelman is a DM from a couple of seasons ago, 5-star. Hans is a cam, 5-star. Marco Koch is a 5-star. Sally is now a 5-star. Rosing is a 5-star. Matzli is a 5-star. Michel Pastorelli looks decent as a German winger, the most Italian name I've ever seen, 5-star. Mimes Masatic is a pretty good striker as well, with 13 finishing, 12 composure, good speed, 16 teamwork. He's a 5-star, and that's finally where it ends. But the potential in this Schalke side is just absolutely insane. So while I am spending a fair bit of money, we are also, I think, just going to make so much from the sheer amount of talent that comes with the Schalke Academy, and they've already signed in this rebuild alone. I mean, granted, looking through it here, there's probably 6 signings there. There's about 8 here. There is probably another 6 here. There's about 20 odd signings that have come in. But we have just strengthened so much over the course of just 3 seasons. Now, obviously, our 4th season we're going into. We are in the Champions League next season. We are predicted 12th with a squad average age of just 20, which is insanely young. And I wouldn't be surprised if we can make a run this season. I know that sounds crazy, being predicted 12th. Remember, last year we were 15th. This could be a generational season if we manage to do it. So let's get in to season 4. Honestly, you guys are not ready for what happens this season. This could be one of my best ever Football Manager rebuilds. This is, of course, our first time in the Champions League, where we have just finished above Bayern Munich and finished 5th to go straight in to the round of 16 with 6 victories, 2 losses, 17 goals for, only 9 against, and 18 points. What on earth has just happened? In the round of 16, we faced up against AS Monaco and beat them 5-3 on aggregate. Before the quarterfinals, we faced up against Newcastle, and despite drawing 0-0 in the first leg, in the home leg, back at the Veltins Arena, we won 3-0, thanks to goals from Rosing Lieslet, Chevio Sauer, and that man Nelson Viper. So when we faced against PSG, we knew it would be tough, and losing 1-0 in the first leg, then it'll be even tougher. But when you get this team at home in the Veltins Arena, we are pretty hard to beat. An early goal from Sila made it 1-0. And after a fast counter-attack with Borgensen driving down the left-hand side, who was there at the back stick, but the man that's been with us from the very start, Musa Sila, to make it 2. And to make things even better, in the 65th minute, Sila and Borgensen link up to the right-hand side for Rosing Lieslet to fire home to send us in to the Champions League final in just season number 4. Yeah, I don't believe it either. I've got no idea what has happened this year. Now, one of the teams you really don't want to face in any game ever is Manchester City. And there's a reason for that. It's Phil Foden, and it's the big robot in the middle, Erling Haaland, who got them off to a 1-goal head start. But we have proven already that we don't give up, and that some of these players that have been here from the second tier of the Bundesliga are apparently good enough to dominate in the Champions League. And apparently, we have our own version of Haaland as well. A ball from Borgensen sends through our robot, Nelson Viper, who drives through 1-on-1 and sticks it past Donnarumma to make it 2-1 in the 65th minute. But then disaster struck in the 88th minute as Sauer brings down Marmoush in the box, already on a yellow card, and manages to get a straight red. Which, of course, to absolutely nobody's surprise, Erling Haaland stuck away to make it 2-2 and sent this game into extra time, where we held on and sent the game to penalties, where Erling Haaland managed to shock everyone. And when he missed the first penalty, blazing it over the bar. And our man Seeler, here from the second tier of the Bundesliga, stepped up and scored and gave us the lead. And the penalty shootout carried on in that vein, and Schalke win the Champions League on penalties in the final against Manchester City. And after just 4 seasons, we have ticked off one of the biggest challenges of this rebuild, lifting a Champions League trophy, which we have done as Schalke, just 4 seasons in, after getting promoted and coming second, after going into a relegation playoff, to finishing third, and then lifting the most prestigious competition in the game. We now have 6 seasons to attempt to win 3 Bundesligas, but that is a pretty good start. And as you can see from the stats, this game was absolutely insane. We only had 9 shots to their 18. They were by far the bigger side, a 2.12 XG to our 1.27. But it came down to penalties, and Haaland, Marmoush and Foden all missed their penalties, while Silla, Masatic and Pastorelli scored theirs. Awesome to see Pastorelli, an academy star, come on in the Champions League final and score the winning penalty. Now don't worry, we've not gone stupid, dummy and dominated the Bundesliga as well. We've actually finished down in 7th place this season, 15 wins, 7 draws, 12 losses, and would have had Europa League football. We've got Champions League because we won the UCL just 4 seasons in, which is insane. And I can't quite believe that we've got season 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and 10 now. 6 years to try and win 3 Bundesligas. And I no longer need to concentrate on trying to win a Champions League because we've just done that. What on earth? And we didn't even have anyone, break records. It wasn't insane. Nelson Viper scored 25 goals, but it was £7 million signing. Borgensen, who grabbed 14 and 7 assists. Musa Seeler grabbed 22 goal contributions this season. Alexander Rosling grabbed 22 as well from the left wing. We've had someone come up through the academy of Aris Bayindir, who has just grabbed 7 goals and 4 assists in 14 starts. Chevy Osawa, despite getting a red in the final, which, I struggled to forgive him for, grabbed 4 goals and 3 assists. Pastorelli grabbed 3 goals and 2 assists, and the potential continues to fly in this team, with a bunch of new 5-star players once again, and a bunch of our stars really progressing. Like Dogger Saley, a £14 million signing, already up to a £30 million value, played 42 games this season with a 6.98 average rating. There are some special players in this side, and we really could be about to start our dynasty with a Champions League victory in just 4 seasons. So there's no surprise that, of course, the gamble from the board to give us a whole bunch of money has hugely paid off. We have now cleared all the debt on the club, which started at 130 million. We have 111 million pounds in the bank, and they've just given me 97 million pounds in transfer budget, which is absolutely insane. Now we're at the point where every single signing I make in this video is probably going to be a regen, so I will go over signings nice and quick, but like you guys know, they are all coming from these recruitment focuses. I'm not doing anything special. I have the recruitment focuses. I'm coming into here 15 to 18 or 15 to 21 or 15 to 23, clicking the fact they have to be scouted, searching through and finding the best players in our position. After doing this for 4 seasons, I now have 2,000 players scouted. It's a pretty meta way of finding all the best wonder kids in the game. And I think we have to doff our cap into the 4-2-3-1, 4-4-2 out of possession tactic because it has worked absolute wonders and has become a pretty dangerous system. If you guys do want down on this tactic, like I said, available exclusively on the Patreon down below, and it is absolutely fantastic, as you guys can see. Now, of course, we had 98 million to go and spend, but you can't really change a Champions League winning side. So I spent just £10 million on Will Wright, a young English striker coming in from Liverpool with 17 pace, and then £9 million on Alexis Vosa, a Frenchman coming in from Toulouse, who looks extremely well-rounded in the defensive midfield positions. So our squad doesn't really change that much. And like I said, how can you change a team which has just won a Champions League? Our best players are still Diego Salai, Berke Yilmaz and Karim Matsieli. Pretty interesting that all 3 of them are Turkish. Is Turkey one of the best places to find youngsters? Potentially. Obviously a little more expensive than going to Africa or to South America, but if you are keeping things only Europe, Turkey seems to be really good at bringing through some great young talent, and there's already some talent in real life there. I mean, Karim is now worth 64 million for us. Had him for just 2 seasons, which is mental. In terms of other star players, Luka Zaric is someone at the club, a Serbian who I don't think you guys have actually seen for some reason. He didn't show up just then. Cost me just £4.7 million, and he looks really, really good. Has done really well at Cervena Zvezda and looks really well rounded. We've also managed to produce a Turkish wonder kid of our own for our academy in Kadirhan Sengül, who is a 14th determination, probably centre back because he's got 5 crossing, who looks really, really good and potentially is leaving the club on loan. Again, 5-star potential on him. And the potential is just absolutely incredible once again at this side. So I think we just keep going. And now, build on that Champions League victory and attempt to win our first Bundesliga in just season number 5. But that is proving to be more difficult than I'd like to admit, because even after this absolutely insane finish of the season, winning our last 5 games 2-0, 4-2, 4-2, 3-2 and 2-1, the team that beat us 3-1 earlier on in the season, Borussia Dortmund, beat us on goal difference to lift the title. And that could be a huge moment in this rebuild, because we now only have 5 years to win 3 Bundesligas. And Dortmund pip us to the post despite losing the final day of the season. They beat us by 11 goal difference. We finish ahead of Bayern by 2 points, ahead of Frankfurt by 4 points. But it is Dortmund that take the title, and it might even be their first title of the rebuild so far. It is. Bayern have done insane things. And the one year they drop off, we also don't have the best season. Finished on just 65 points. Too many losses at the start of the season, 9 overall. And Dortmund pip us to the post. Season 5 is a trophyless year as we also don't go on to win the Champions League once again. Goal scoring wise, we've got some stars. Alexander, 25 and 7 assists. A signing from, it forgets me, another German side in Hamburg. This guy is just absolutely incredible. A Norwegian winger who we could see through the likes of Haaland and Odegaard in real life. 17 determination, 16 flair, elite speed. He's been brilliant in this rebuild. Nelson Viper, 24 and 4. Is he good enough to win me a Bundesliga? I don't know. His stats are very well rounded, but still nowhere near where they were last year. So we'll have to see. Alexander Borgensen, 23 goal contributions. This guy's brilliant. Hugo Alba, 9 and 8, signing for 800,000 from IFK Beograd. Arias Buyindir, 10 goal contributions. Luka Zaric with 16. Will Wright even scored 4 off the bench. And in terms of average rating, our best player is actually Nelson Viper, followed up by Borgensen. And then it's Matzley in goal. So we've got the talent, and we've just showed if Bayern Munich fall off, we could almost do it. But sadly, Dortmund just pip us to the post. So this year, we have to go for it. We've got 5 seasons to win 3 Bundesligas. 28.5 million, Elias Hamza. 12.75, Nacho Zamora. 11 million, Omer Yilmaz. By the way, what a signing and what a player this guy looks like. A little Swiss DM, 163 centimetres tall. Absolute ball-playing wizard. Lolo Lukwe for £9 million joins as a centre-back. Naska Dimitrov, a Bulgarian defence midfielder for 7. Sergei Yeremev, a Ukrainian winger from Shakhtar. And for 2.2, Nambala Ghana coming in from Nancy. We also have the £1.6 million signing of Sadiki Geiris from München, going back to München as well. £78 million spent this summer. We have certainly gone for it because we're coming down to crunch time. And if we want to lift Bundesligas, we have to do that now. The team, Yilmaz, Costa, Yilmaz, Pinto, Pedrosa and Matzley as the back 5. Hamza and Vosa as the DMs. Zaric, Borgensen, Rosling and Viper as the front 4. If we don't win it this season, I don't think we win it at all. This really is do or die. 5 seasons, 3 Bundesligas, let's go. So this season, we knew we had to hit the ground running. And we done that in pretty emphatic fashion, starting the Bundesliga correctly, being unbeaten all the way by the end of October. Despite 2 losses in the Champions League, we've managed to be supreme on German soil. And the big results wasn't just being unbeaten, we also beat Bayern Munich 4-1, which seems like a momentous point in this rebuild, and beat Borussia Dortmund 1-0 away from home. And a lot of goals there come from this man once again, Alexander Rossing Liesle. Still no caps for Norway, no idea why. Back-to-back seasons scoring 17 goals. This guy is an absolute joke, and you can pick him up for so cheap on your saves, just 5 million. Give him a chance, stick him as a left winger, and watch him just absolutely smash it. The weird thing is, compared to Season 4, we were now awful in the Champions League and amazing in the Bundesliga. We just finished 28th in the Champions League. But in the Bundesliga, we're after beating Düsseldorf 1-0, Union Berlin 3-1, and finishing the seasons with draws against Hamburg and 1.FC Cologne. We managed to make Schalke Bundesliga champions. 6 seasons in, with a challenge of winning 3 throughout the entire course of the rebuild, we have finally done it. And in the next 4 seasons, we need to win 2 more Bundesligas. A momentous occasion in this rebuild, making Schalke Bundesliga champions, but we have done that on 76 points. Our best points tally by far. Last season 65, we've got a second, as Bayern Munich did improve this year, while Dortmund absolutely crumbled down to 47. I really hope that doesn't happen to us, because that would be not very good in the slightest. We are the best team in Germany, and we now have another 4 years to try and win 2 more. Or you guys want a copy of FM26, one of you in the comments down below. So again, if you haven't commented down below, comment, because there's just 4 seasons left to win 2 more trophies, well, 2 more Bundesligas in particular. And I don't know if we're going to do it, because that is a very good season, but I'm sure Bayern Munich, with Hansi Flick, we back with a vengeance. I mean, they've still got the likes of now Mamardashvili, Rico Lewis, Upamecano, Alphonso Davies, Aishawn, who's one of the best wonder kids on this year's FM, Pavlovic, Alvarez, Musiala, Savinho, and a retiring Harry Kane. I'm sure they'll replace him. They might have already done it with Ricardo Pepi. So we're going to struggle to overtake them every single season. And we never know. Dortmund could come back. Frankfurt seem really good. So it's not over yet. 2 titles in 4 years. After winning our first, let's try and make it happen. Imagine my pure sadness when this season we let ourselves down. Finishing on just 60 points and 12 points away from Bayern Munich, who get their top spot back. And oh, it feels really hard now. 2 titles to go in 3 seasons. That copy of FM26 is going to be coming your way, I think. Unless we have a miracle towards the end of this rebuild. You guys will have to carry on watching to see if that happens. Oh, that's disappointing, isn't it? Only 60 points, and you can see even up here, it's not a great finish to the season. It was an unbelievable start, winning every single game until the 20th of September. And then we just absolutely fell off a cliff. And it was a pretty poor season in terms of the first team. Checking out the goal scorers, Leishling fell off loads this year. Only 7 goals and 17 assists, which didn't help. Viper grabbed 18. But I do now think it's time to move on. I'd have expected more from him by now. And now at 27 years of age. Nelson Viper, thank you very much. But I'm going to go and get an absolute superstar up front. Aris by India actually took the cam role and has sort of developed throughout the course of this rebuild into a really good cam. He has played pretty much every season for us in the last 5 or 6 years. Has been really good, going all the way back to sort of 2028, 29 when he started in the first team. And then this season, grabbing 10 goals and 4 assists in 28 is mental. He's a Luxembourg international. I don't really know where he came from, to be honest. He just started playing games and become an absolute superstar. So big up Aris by India. What a player he looks to be. But we need some serious improvement to get back in terms on top of the Bundesliga. Potential-wise, we are a little bit lackluster compared to where we were a few years ago. Passarelli hasn't developed too much. Great speed in him, good finishing, good determination, but hasn't managed to reach that next level. And even after this loan spell, 12 goals at, Elversberg, isn't really exactly what I was expecting. Ruben himself as well, developed okay, but never really reaching that next level. Minez Mastic, again, never quite reaching the heights we hoped. So we are struggling to develop this top-tier talent, despite having sort of everything in place. It's been quite difficult to take him to the next level. Omar Yilmaz isn't playing many games for us either, despite having loads of great stats. Just doesn't really fit the bill in that DM position. I am keeping him around because he's only 20 though. Lola Lukwe, I think, might leave us at some point. He looks really good, and he has a release clause as well. I'm 99% sure of 38 million. Yeah, 38 million. His value is up at that already, and he's wanted by Bournemouth, Arsenal, United, Spurs and Bergamo. So we could say goodbye to Lola Lukwe, which would be a real shame. And then Hamza is unhappy to want a brand new deal. But this guy is an absolute superstar. The £124 million value. He did cost me about 25 million from Paris FC, 28. but has been an absolutely fantastic player for us. So don't mind that signing at all. Chilean international at 21 years of age, 56 caps. Wowza, what a baller. And I'm hoping we've signed some more of them as we welcome in wonder kid striker Giacomo Fabrizi, a 197cm Italian striker with 17 finishing, 16 composure, 14 pace, 12 acceleration, an absolute man-mountain Italian beast for 26.5 million to come and score a whole host of goals. We also have Anders Kostivat, a Norwegian right winger with great speed and first touch for 7.5 million. 4.5 on Daniel Steiner to potentially be our next goalkeeper with 19 jumping reach. And Simone Vanucci comes in from Torino for just 3.3 million as our backup centre-back. We have also sold Alexander Maros and haven't quite yet sold Nelson Viper. We've had a bit of an argument, a bit of a Barney here and there. We've sent him down into the under-19s. I can't actually see where he's gone anymore. He could still be in the first team. He is. He's going down to the under-19s. I don't want him playing at all. I just can't get rid of him. I've transfer listed him. I've offered him to clubs. I've hired intermediaries. Nelson wants to stay, but I don't want Nelson anymore. I want Giacomo up top. So with this new look side with Fedorov hopefully getting more minutes in the cam role with Rossing, Kostivat, Dagar, Ormel Yilmaz, Berke Yilmaz, Hamza, Lulkwe, Pinto Pedrosa and Karim. Can we challenge Bayern for the title? Yes, we can. We beat them 2-0 this season and drew in the other game. But it wasn't Bayern we had to worry about. It was Frankfurt. Just finished 13 points ahead of us. And we still sit on just one Bundesliga title with 8 seasons gone and 1 Champions League. Meaning if we want to complete the challenge, we have to win 2 Bundesligas in the final 2 seasons rebuild, which isn't impossible, but it's not looking good, Brev. The cool thing is that this year, for the first time, we have just won the DFB Pokal. It took 8 seasons, but we've finally done it. And when I actually went back on my whole thing about getting rid of Nelson, because, yeah, we didn't get any offers for him, and he decided to go, no, look, I am playing 28 goals and 4 assists. I mean, this is his best season yet. I've just spent 30-odd million on a brand new striker who played 1 game and got 2 assists. I mean, Giacomo is so good. But he will regress, as we are seeing already, if he doesn't play games. But Nelson Viper just scored 28 goals. I mean, it's an absolute whirlwind of emotions. I don't really know what to do, to be honest. I don't know whether to stick with Viper at 28 years of age or go to Giacomo. But we know Giacomo's not going to start if we keep Nelson. I've got to decide this summer what to do once and for all. Fedorov had his breakout years this year. 17 goals, 9 assists. Kostivat with 10 and 8. A £7 million signing. Absolutely smashing it. Rosling with 22 as well. And Bayindir with over 9 goal contributions. But overall, I've got to decide what to do up front. And my gut instinct tells me it could be that Nelson Viper is the starter. But we're going to see how the summer goes. And I need to do a bit more investigation into Giacomo, because I'm not sure why he didn't play any games compared to Nelson. I mean, comparing them, it seems like a no-brainer. Giacomo is just so much better, isn't he? He just didn't get game time because he's younger. Check out the attributes. He is just better. I'm going to have to go with Giacomo Fabrizi. Let's do it. Giacomo is the starter for the final 2 seasons of this rebuild. That could either make or break the fact that we win 2 Bundesligas or don't. So this season, I've made just 2 C signings and brought Giacomo in up front, and I'm sticking with my gut. Viper is in the under-19s. We're never going to see him again. Our 2 signings is number 1, Mohamed Lamine Moussasi, coming in as a defence midfielder who looks absolutely brilliant. And number 2 is Ukrainian right winger Maxim Palyenko, who also looks absolutely fantastic. And of course, then we have Giacomo up front, who feels like a brand new signing. He feels like someone that could absolutely change the trajectory of this rebuild. He looks like the meta striker build. He just needs to perform like it, and we can hopefully win 2 Bundesligas in the next 2 years. In terms of the season preview, we are still predicted down in 6th place, but much closer now to the big boys. And as we've seen over the last few seasons, the season preview doesn't really mean too much. It means how we perform in the match with our tactic, with our new sort of meta players. Fedorov, Fabrizi, Palyenko, Garner, Vossa, Ruben, Berke, Yilmaz, Costa, Hamza, Pinto Pedrosa and Karim. Can we put it all together and win 2 Bundesligas in 2 years? And I tell you what, it is possible, because thanks to a Giacomo Fabrizi brace on the final day of the season, we lift our 2nd Bundesliga trophy in season number 9, level on points with Frankfurt. Literally a points difference anywhere in this season, and Frankfurt were champions in back-to-back years, but Schalke win it this year, and we have the final season, season 10, to see if we can complete this challenge or give away a copy of FM26. I will say the Bundesliga has been so fun to manage in and so challenging as well. Second, first, second, first. We have been in the top 2 for the last 5 seasons, only winning 2 trophies seems outrageous, given one of them was on goal difference as well. I mean, this has been a fantastic rebuild so far, but going into season 10, I kind of feel like everything is on the line. Now, this year, we certainly made the right choice of striker. Fabrizi with 33 goals and 9 assists is absolutely incredible. Fedorov with 30 goal contributions as well. Playing as that cam/striker out of possession, he is absolutely elite. Anders Kostivat, the Norwegian right winger, signed for 7 million. Also absolutely brilliant, with other Norwegian, Rosling, playing on the left wing. 23 assists this season. Absolutely elite. We've got a really strong side, and I do honestly believe we can go back to back. We have the facilities. In terms of the finances, we have £339 million in the bank, 200 million to go and spend, and £1 million in wage budget. Don't worry, I'm not going to go stupid. I'm going to keep to the exact same rules and regulations we've been doing throughout this rebuild. I'm not going to be unfair. It's going to come down to 1 season to decide it all. 1 season to decide if I give away FM26 or not. So let's get into it. If you guys have enjoyed the kind of challenge aspect in this video, let me know in the comments down below, regardless, because I'd love to know. And also a little side note as well, the copy of FM26 I've got to give away, whether it's in this video or not, is a UK code only. So apologies if you guys aren't in the UK. Sadly, I don't have another code to give away. We make just 3 signings for this final season. A brand new rotational left winger in Marius Morup for £14.25 million. Bikan Kerimoglu comes in as a brand new cam/striker rotation option. Another Turkishman, 109 centimeters, looks fantastic. And finally is Ishmael Fofana, a Ivory Coast right wing/striker who also looks brilliant. We have finally sold Nelson Viper this summer as well for 24 million. Lucas Aric goes to Damak, Dimitrov goes to Al Hazim, and Will Wright leaves to Blackburn. And also, I believe it was last season, maybe the season before that, we did also have a big old sale, which I seems to have missed to have told you guys. It is Lolo Lukwe left us for 38 million to go and join Newcastle. This guy is an insane centre-back, so it was sad to miss out on him. But in terms of transfers, it's been fairly even-ish, I would say. We've probably spent about £100 million more, I would guess. I mean, there's 75, there's 30, there's 30 again, there's 20. Probably about £150 million more than we've raised, which, I mean, over 10 seasons isn't too bad. And given that this is the team we've ended up with, a team full of wonder kids, only signed from Europe, like we said, to make the challenge even harder, I'm pretty proud of what we've managed to do with this team. And I think there's a chance that we go back-to-back to finish this rebuild. So to finish things off in Season 10, we would have to have some huge results go our way to lift a Bundesliga. And a little bit of luck as well, as we beat Bayern Munich thanks to a 1-0 own goal from Al Nakali. And we would also have to rely on our big man in the box, Giacomo Fabriziano, to score a bunch of goals like he did here at the backstick against rivals Frankfurt, who we beat 2-1 on the penultimate day of the season. So I am proud to announce that on Season 10, we didn't win the Bundesliga. We come 4th on 66 points. And you guys won a copy of FM26, which is fun. I mean, this season was absolutely insane. Stuttgart come out of nowhere with 5 wins in the final 5 on 69 points and come 3rd. Leipzig out of nowhere gets 72, and Bayern are back on top in Germany. Dortmund down in 6th, Frankfurt down in 5th, and us in 4th. And after spending a bunch of money throughout the rebuild on European wonder kids, we sadly fall just short. Checking out the goal scorers for this final season, it was 29 for Fabriziano. I mean, we made the right choice with this guy. We're for £100 million now. Kerimoglu was brilliant this season, 13 and 8. Rosling with 12 and 12 was one of our first signings, has been brilliant. Anders Kostigat has been brilliant. Fedorov was okay this year, but overall we fell short. And you guys are going to win a copy of FM26 to one lucky commenter down below. Get your comments in. Let me know what save you guys do on FM26. I'll pick a comment, at random in the next sort of 3-4 days after this video comes out. And there's a massive new update coming out for FM26 with shouts being back in the game. And if you guys haven't played FM26 because of all the sort of negativity around it, this update I think is going to completely save the game this year. So it is a great week to get involved. If you guys don't want to comment, don't comment. If you guys want a chance, comment. And if you've already got FM26, just comment down below your favourite moment of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. We've failed the challenge, but I think we've won in our hearts. A Champions League and 2 Bundesligas. The Schalke rebuild is over. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you guys next time.